Good morning friends. Welcome to the Standard 12th biology class. The first unit we have to study is reproduction. In reproduction we have to study 4 chapters. First one is reproduction in organisms. Second is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Third is human reproduction. And fourth chapter is reproductive health. So this is the list of the reproduction chapters in reproduction unit, the chapters we have to study. Reproduction in organisms, sexual reproduction in flowering plants, human reproduction, and reproductive health. So let us understand what is reproduction. So before reaching to reproduction, we need to understand the biology. What is biology? Biology is a story of life on earth. We know that all the organisms that is present on earth, they die, but the organisms they die, but the species continues for thousands and thousands of years, even millions of years. So how it is possible that organisms are dying and the species continues? It is because of the process called as reproduction. All the species, they die because of the natural region or anthropogenic causes. So reproduction helps in the continuation of the species. Now, as we know that every organism has a limited lifespan, you need to understand it like in a better way. Every organism has a limited lifespan. All organism lives for a limited duration of time. So what is this lifespan? How do we define the lifespan? We can understand it with this diagram. Lifespan is defined as the period of life from birth to the natural death. That is, if an organism has to complete its entire life, it with all the amount of food and nutrition and proper healthcare condition, the duration for which an organism can live is defined as its lifespan. So lifespan is the duration between this natural birth to the death. This duration from natural birth to death is defined as the lifespan. That is the period of time for which an organism lives. Different now, the important part in NCERT that says that all organisms have a definite lifespan, but the size of the organism is not associated with the lifespan of the organism. Different organisms have similar type of sizes and shape, but their lifespan is different. Or like the smaller organisms also have the larger lifespan, and the larger organisms have smaller lifespan. So this association, this correlation of size of the organism with the lifespan of the organism can be understood with the example of crow and parrot and mango and banyan tree, which is given in the NCERT book. Both crow and parrot have same size, but their lifespan is different. A crow lives for 15 years while a parrot can live for 140 years. But if you look at the shape, size, structure of the crow and parrot, both have the similar shape, size and structure, but their lifespan is different. Similarly, the shape, size, structure of the mango and a banyan tree is almost similar, but their lifespan is different. A mango tree is almost like 60 years old, while a banyan tree can survive for 200 years. So a crow and parrot have same size, but their lifespan is different. Similarly, the mango and banyan tree have same size but different lifespan. No, another concept that NCERT says is all organisms are mortal. They have a limited lifespan except the unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are called as immortal. Immortal means which are able to continue their lifespan. Their life doesn't terminate. They are immortal, they are not mortal. So like the question is asked in italicized form, why do we say there is no natural death in single celled organisms? So this we will study in case of asexual reproduction, that unicellular organisms divide continuously and the genetic material is transferred from parent to the progeny without the termination of the life of that specific organism. So, but multicellular organism, they succumb, their life terminates. So, in order to maintain their species, they all have to undergo a process called as reproduction. That is how the plants and animals present on the earth are able to maintain their lifespan. Means their species are able to maintain its span on the earth because of the process of reproduction. Reproduction is the production of organism by the parents with the by the asexual or sexual means, which helps the organism continue its life, the species continue its span. So this is the list of just now I have told you the lifespan thing, the lifespan of different organisms. Like we need to understand in order to like see the correlation between the different sizes and the duration for which an organism live, and different variation, diversity of the organism, and the different lifespan that they undergo on the earth. So the first organism is elephant. Elephant, the lifespan of elephant is 60 to 90 years. The large size elephant is able to live for 60 to 90 years of its lifetime. The rose plant that we see has a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. The dog has a lifespan of 20 to 30 years. Butterfly has lifespan of 1 to 2 weeks. Crow has lifespan of 15 years. Banyan tree has lifespan of 200 years. Cow has lifespan of 20 to 25 years. Parrot has lifespan of 140 years. Crocodile has lifespan of 60 years. Horse has lifespan of 60 years. Fruit fly has lifespan of 30 days. Rice plant has lifespan of 3 to 4 months, and tortoise has lifespan of 100 to 150 years. The banana tree has lifespan of 25 years. So these organisms, different diversity of organisms in form of plant and animals, have different lifespan, that is the duration for which they live from their time of birth to the time of their death. So what help the species may continue itself for thousands or millions of years on earth is because of the reproduction. So how do you define the reproduction? So reproduction is defined as the biological process. Reproduction is a biological process which allows the organism to produce offspring like itself, the young one like itself. If it is occurring by the asexual reproduction, the organism will be almost of similar genetic makeup, that is, it will be the clone of the parent. If it is occurring by the sexual mode of reproduction, there will be a variance of the organism created. So all offspring, young ones that are produced by the parents, they undergo three things. First, the birth take place, they grow, they mature, and then they give rise to their offspring. This cycle of birth, growth, and death continues, which enables the continuation of species generation after generation. And that is where the importance of reproduction lies, which allows the species to continue on earth. Now reproduction is of two types. First one is asexual mode of reproduction and second one is sexual mode of reproduction. The asexual mode of reproduction involves only single parents. What is the definition of the asexual mode of reproduction? They involve only one parent, and the progeny, the offspring, the young ones produced are of similar genetic makeup to the parents, while the sexual reproduction requires two parents, the male and the female parents. In asexual reproduction, no gametes are formed, while in case of sexual mode of reproduction, gametes are produced. The male parent produces gamete in form of sperm. The female parent produces gamete in form of ova. And also, in case of asexual mode of reproduction, the offspring are almost or like similar to the parents. The genetic identity is similar. They are clone of the parents. While in case of sexual mode of reproduction, the variation is introduced in the offspring because of the different genetic makeup which is created during the gamete formation. So we will study about it in detail in the later part of the chapters. In the third chapter, where the human reproduction one or the plant reproduction, while the gamete formation, the different variations get introduced in the genome of the male and female gametes. So this is the chart for the types of reproduction. It's of two types: asexual mode of reproduction and sexual mode of reproduction. Asexual mode of reproduction involves single parents and no gametes are formed. In the asexual mode of reproduction, the offspring formed are almost identical to their parents, while in case of sexual mode of reproduction, variants offspring are produced. There is a difference in the genetic makeup of the offspring with respect to the parents, and during the reproduction, two parents are involved, the male and the female parents, and gametes are formed during the sexual mode of reproduction. So these are the this is the introductory part of the reproduction, and now we'll study about the different types of reproduction. Till then, please go through the chapter and make notes of the this topic taught, and learn the different lifespan of plants and animals, and what is the definition of lifespan, what is reproduction, what is the why the reproduction is required, and how the lifespan is not associated with the size of the organism, why do different plants and animals require different mode of reproduction, and what are the types of reproduction, and what happens to the during the life cycle of the offspring, how what all processes occurs, why do the why. And one more question that is to be understood is why, like no natural death occurs in case of single celled organisms. Okay, so good luck with the studies.